So we're very excited to have you guys join us. We are coming from North Carolina,
Utah,
Michigan.
and yeah, we have a collective. What did I say earlier? How many years of MS between all of us? 47 years.
20.
Yeah.
I have 20. You have, yeah.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. Oh, 47. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's wild to think about it that way.
Lots of failures and solutions. So we're share it all. All right, I'm going to kick this off. We are going to spend 10 minutes per blonde, just kind of giving you a sneak peek of who we are and what you can kind of expect with our personalities. And yeah. All right. So my name is Nikki. I am 42 years old and I was diagnosed with MS in 2005 in Arlington, Virginia. So I was raised in Iowa and I have actually lived the majority of my adulthood in Northern Virginia. And I've lived in Wisconsin before. And right now I've been in North Carolina for 2 years. I have a 13-year-old son and I've got a 1-year-old dog and a mortgage. And I'm going to tell you a bit about my personality. I'm very this is what I'm going to tell you. And then I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you a bit about my personality. I'm going to tell you about my childhood a little bit. I'm going to tell you about my job world and finally how the war impacted my MS, just so you feel more connected to me. So I had this great idea for the podcast back last summer, but I was just waiting for the right moment and for God to place the right people in my path that would join along and start this. So I had this idea because essentially I use Facebook Live for sharing everything about this journey. And I have, been one of those people that talk about things that only other people think they don't talk about. So I just love doing that because I research the crap out of things and then I share with others so they can then research it themselves and see if it would fit for them and their lives. I am, like I said, a researcher and a thinker. I do not like big government. I do not like big pharma, not one bit. About my diagnosis, actually, the first thing I searched in 2005 was alternative treatments for MS. I found this man named Francis O'Connell, and I was immediately drawn into the testimonies that he had on the website. And he was talking about healing with glyconutrients. And I was just like, this is incredible. The reason that I don't trust him is because within a year, the FBI actually raided his home, took his computer, all of his research. And from that moment on, I knew that I can't trust anyone except for myself. When it comes to my body and my healing, nobody's going to be watching out for me except for me. I trusted that God would open doors and put proper people in my lives to introduce me to things that I needed. And that's exactly what has happened my entire life. I'm a huge advocate for medical marijuana, especially for veterans. I think that there should be no questions asked. If you want to use it, you're a veteran, you can use it. I believe that food is medicine and that plants and herbs were placed in this earth to naturally heal. I think glyphosates and greedy people in power have ruined our food sources. And that's why autoimmune diseases and cancer is at an all-time high. I have tattoos. I have many of them. They all have meanings. I love riding Harleys. I got my license in 2011, and it literally is the most therapeutic thing I can do for my body, especially as more things are taken from me with multiple sclerosis. I am currently I'm in the middle of a torn up family. Thank you, big government and fake media. None of my sisters really talk to me right now. I've been through a messy divorce because of adultery and abandonment. So if you've been there and done that, I can relate. I'm a hardcore conservative. I love God. I love my country. I stand for the flag. I cry when it's raised. I cry when people are singing patriotic songs. I love freedom. I love choice, and I'm not ashamed to share it. I am 100% rated in the VA. If you know what that is, fantastic. It's a complete blessing. I'm a bit loud, and I'm even more loud when I'm passionate about something and I'm not yelling. People think I'm yelling. I'm not yelling. I'm just super passionate about some certain things and I get loud. I speak with my face. Sorry, those on the podcast, you can't tell, but I do speak with it. I typically don't have to even open my mouth and you know what I'm thinking. So that's actually not a blessing that I don't want to check myself a lot with that. I love routine. So I don't really travel much because it kind of stresses me out. Even good stress like affects my legs. My son is currently homeschooled. So I'm kind of in that world with the homeschooling mom, shout out, because I was over the Christian school that he was attending, telling me to cover his face when he's perfectly healthy. Did it for a year, not doing it for year two. I love just sitting outside and watching nature. It brings me like extreme joy. So I'm kind of, yeah, a little young for that, but I love it. I love Jesus. I've got a great testimony. I'll share it with anyone that asks at any time. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Like I said before, I tell people things that I'm going through or treatments. I'll tell anybody about it because it might help you. And some people might think that, oh, she's too loud, or, oh, she's sharing, like, that's weird, she's sharing, I don't care. I might help somebody out there. So, couple more things. I'm a huge lover of relationship marketing with social media. Love it, love it, love it. So a bit about my childhood. I grew up in Fairfield, Iowa. I had a great childhood. I'm one of 4 girls. I was the tomboy of the family, big shocker. I loved running track and cross country. I grew up in the church, and thank goodness was taught from a young age that God is my friend and my father. And it's really cool. My family's had a lot of miracles. My sister was supernaturally healed from epilepsy. I think it's to bring my parents back to the church because they were using transcendental meditation and consciousness as a replacement to God. So I believe that's what happened. I don't know. My dad fell 40 feet from a tree, was never supposed to walk again, and he's totally fine now. So just a lot of miracles. We didn't have much money growing up. So that's why I joined the military at 17. So I wouldn't have to ask for money. I did attend the University of Iowa, and I graduated with a BA in biology. And then I finished out ROTC and joined the Medical Service Corps. Yeah, so that's about it for my family. Job history. Right out of college, I was offered a job in Iowa City for the Army National Guard Medical Battalion. So our unit was called OAF-1, which is Iraq. Basically, 1 means it was when it first started. But I was still at OBC in San Antonio. So I was the rear attachment OIC, which basically means that you're in charge while everybody's gone. And after that, I moved to Arlington, Virginia to work for the surgeon's office in National Guard Bureau. And my job was deploying doctors and dentists on their 90-day rotation. So I called myself their party planner to the sand. I loved that job. I loved them. But at that point, I was thrown into entrepreneurship, and that kind of started my world of network marketing and just various jobs within entrepreneurship. So, and honestly, my health failing after divorce was kind of what threw me into that, because you could do it from home. You could do it from anywhere. So, network marketing companies, Beachbody coaching was kind of my longest. And then, I became obsessed with cannabis. I was involved in some of that. I was in charge of social media for a nonprofit about cannabis for warriors out of Louisiana. That was amazing. I sold Monate products, which I still use them and love them. What else? I was involved in an actual pyramid scheme. So when people are like, oh, there's such a pyramid scheme, it's like, have you ever sold thousands of dollars to your friends in product that never came? I have, and it's so embarrassing. So if you're one of those friends, I am so sorry. So no, most MLMs are not pyramid schemes, like, at all, you guys. So 2020 happened, and people didn't want to buy stuff on the internet anymore. And so I was asked to help with the Trump campaign. So I agreed with that. And I did that for 6 months. And after that was over, my friend Myra and I decided to start the Conservative Women of Forsyth County. So a year later, we have about 800 members, and it's amazing. Also during 2020, I had some opportunities to start real estate. So I started those schools, I started those tests, and I just realized that I didn't enjoy what I was learning about. So a couple months ago, I actually was approached with a nutrition program, and I dropped 25 pounds in 3 months. I was like, all right, man, I'm back into coaching. Let's coach it. So that's currently what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm a jack of all trades when it comes to sales, for sure. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to talk about the war and how it impacts MS. And then I'm going to move on to Bobby's turn. So a few short months after moving to DC, I met an Army officer at National Guard Bureau. We got engaged with a whopping 4 months of knowing each other. Then 8 months later, I was diagnosed with MS. And then 4 months later, we went to the Justice of the Peace and got married so I could use TRICARE for my health. And shortly after getting married, like our marriage, like kind of fell apart before it even started. So Iraq just started, Afghanistan started, he got deployed, for 18 months and he came back, but not emotionally. He physically came back. So if you're out there and you can relate with that, been there, done that too. We got pregnant immediately, like most people do after war, after they come back from the war. And that was really the beginning of the unknown reality that I was going to be a single mom from then on out. So we ended up getting a divorce. We really were only married for 2 out of those 10 years, for real. But I'm telling you all this because this is when my health issues started. And with MS, I feel like you have to be very chill. Like you can't, like stress can really aggravate our nervous system. And I honestly thought I was misdiagnosed because I didn't have an initial attack from 2005 to 2009 when I had Dylan. And I know a lot of us have, we're going to go into next couple of weeks talking about our specific, symptoms and diagnosis of MS, but a lot of symptoms come back after your babies. And so that's kind of what happened. I had mild attacks between, 2009 to 2014, and divorce screwed me up. Super stressed, super messy. My breast implants started fighting my body. And 2014 is really when all of my health issues started, and my legs were never the same since. One thing I can say, and I'll end with, is again, stress and MS do not mix well together. My body knows when, and I'm sure yours does too, knows when I'm not calm and when things are not okay, whether it's good or bad stress. So in my life, I pivot a lot. It might look like I'm running from things, but I'm just very aware of, of my stress levels, just for the key purpose of holding it together and staying healthy for my son. So yeah, I kind of live in my own little world in this naive, like bubble of joy, but I love it. I love it. And I'm so excited, to be part of this podcast with Bobby and Tara. And, with all the tools that, we've accumulated, especially with me as well, I can speak for myself. Like we're going to teach you, and, we're going to give you options and hope. And, we don't want you to walk scared alone. And we're going to keep winning the battle.
Hi guys, I'm Bobby. I'm 31 years old. I was diagnosed with MS when I was 20 years old, and a little sneak peek into that, I'm just going to give you a little bit. I actually found out I was pregnant the same time I was diagnosed with MS. So it was very crazy, emotional roller coaster. I didn't even know what to even think. But I was actually diagnosed when I was home in the States on leave. So I was stationed over in Japan. I was in the Navy. So a little backstory, what branch of service I was from. But I'm from Idaho. It used to be like not a very big place, but it's a lot bigger place now. My family actually moved back there, but when I grew up there till junior high, and my dad, he got a raise in the company he was working with, and we moved to Montana. From there, played sports. Sports were a huge thing, like being super active. I loved it, even though I really hated physical training as much as possible. But everything has changed around that whole aspect, which I will definitely be sharing more about it because it's such a huge passion of mine. It's definitely helped me overcome so many things with my MS. Like my workouts are my therapy. So I hope I can share things that you can start implementing in your life, and how you can see a different way of battling your MS a lot stronger. Let's see. So I actually joined the military my junior year in high school. I decided to finish out. And my family was hit with some tough news. My dad's heart was really bad, and the military was great. They postponed my detachment to boot camp, and I was really grateful for that so I could be with my family. went to boot camp, and that's when the whole adventure started. First time I ever seen a city, I was terrified. I just remember flying over Chicago and thinking, oh my gosh, like the lights just keep going on and on. I'm a small town country girl. So going to bigger places, I was excited, but I was terrified. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I remember, which I'm 31, so I'm the younger one here in the group. But, but I remember when 9/11 happened. I was in 5th grade, and I remember everything that happened that day, and it just always stuck with me. And I guess you could say that the military was just always in the back of my mind all the time. I wanted to do something bigger than I could ever do for myself, and I wanted to grow up. I love my family. Family is a huge part of my life, but I needed to grow up. I didn't know how to do it. And like Nikki, my family, I had an amazing upbringing. My family did a lot in rodeos. We traveled to all the rodeos, and I learned hardworking right when I was young. And I just knew, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I didn't want to waste trying to figure that in college while racking up debt. So I decided, you know what, let's go do something. So I went to the military. Well, I am a mom. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Me and my husband, we met in the military. We knew each other for 6 months, and we got engaged. And a few months later, we went to the courthouse and got married. We've been together for 12 years, which is crazy. I just have to say the adventures that my husband and I have been on have been absolutely incredible. Of course, in every marriage has its ups and downs, but my husband, he is my bestest friend, and it's kind of crazy, but where we live now, this is the longest place we have ever lived since being together. And we're going on 4 years living in Utah. So we're used to traveling. I love to see the world. So that's just a little bit something about my family. A little bit about me, my personality. I would say I'm very upbeat, very personable. Ever since getting MS, I was very lost. But it took me after having my daughter that I needed to do something. And so that's when I started reaching out into social media, and I found more people who dealt with MS, and it inspired me, and it got me out of my shell, because just so you know, I used to be a very shy person, extremely shy. You probably want to know that now, but
not with your reels, no way.
Yeah, I was thinking I was the shy one of the group.
But yes, used to be so shy, and being able to talk to so many people, not just here in the States, but from all over the world, it just showed me that there was a whole different aspect of life that I had no idea about. I didn't even know what an autoimmune disease was at all. And so learning more from other people, I was like, and sharing my story, and it blew up. And it's empowered me more. It's helped me grow. It's been a healing for me in my journey, being able to help people, being able to listen to them, hear their stories, give feedback. Because just doing that, it holds so much power. And I am excited having this podcast, because you guys are going to get it all. And that just makes me so excited. I have the goosebumps going. Anyways, something that people probably don't know about me, my family does. My mom laughs at me, but she's like, you just love doing that. I'm a history junkie. I love history. And the only reason why I love history is because my second class, his name was AO2 Clark, and he spewed history all the time to us, and he quizzed us. And the things that he talked about, I'm like, wait, you're telling me that this what happened? And just mind you, I was just out of high school, and I'm like, I don't remember learning this stuff. And so that's what sparked my interest. So you will see me more watching documentaries and reality TV shows. So a lot of people laugh at that, but there's just so much out there that I don't think I'll ever be able to consume it all in my whole lifetime, because there's that much. But social media just has really blossomed for me. I am a stay-at-home mom, and my husband, he is a law enforcement officer. He's also a canine handler, so he is very busy. It reminds me of the military because he's gone a lot. I become a single parent for a couple of weeks, maybe a few months, and it's really hard. I live in a town of like maybe 400 or 500 people, so there's no stoplight. So
that just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I know, right?
It is beautiful where we live. But I'll share more about my home where I live now. But I wanted to do something. My kids are full-time in school this year. So that's when everything, I feel like this year just really blew up with so many opportunities. I, like Nikki, being an entrepreneur through social media is incredible, especially living the life that I live. It's really hard to have a secure job. And especially working for me, I used to own my own nail business and I did amazing, but it really deteriorated my health. My MS impacts my legs a lot. So I deal with a lot of chronic pain. So even just sitting isn't good either. So I have to be able to move, lay down, walk, do multiple things. And I can't do that in a 9-to-5 job. It's very hard. So I'm very grateful that there are so many things out there nowadays that can help people in situations like mine. MS being, part of my life, I'm a huge advocate for it, but I'm a huge advocate for wellness. I do believe food is medicine, but I'll be sharing my story more, but overall, I did go back to MS treatments, and I'll share why I went back to MS treatments. But my whole 10 years of having MS, I've been off of treatments longer. So we'll get into that, the next few episodes, which I'm really excited about because my story is really wild.
That'll be good episodes. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I'm still battling the VA with disability. So that's been really tough. If you know the VA system, it has its quirks, and I do have to say things have gotten better since 2016. But there's a lot more that it can do. But I don't know if it will ever get there, which I'm not expecting much because of the history of the VA. But it has so much potential, and I'm not going to give up on it. So other than that, that's pretty much a nutshell about me. Hopefully you guys can get a few good laughs with me because I smile a lot. I giggle a lot. Laughter is just a really big part of my life because I feel like it's really good for the soul and really good healing for the MS. So anyways, I'm so excited. And next up is Tara.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Just to give you a little background, about myself so you can get to know me. I would say, definitely my anchor to my life is my faith. It's my lens for life. It's what keeps me at peace. And I just filter everything through that lens of what God has done for me. And so, my faith is definitely that anchor. I was just to kind of give you the background of where I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. People also refer to that as the mistake on the lake. And grew up there, was basically lived there my whole life till I graduated high school. In fact, and as we go into this, that's one of the things, MS, where people in the North are more prevalent, like they say people with MS, there's more prevalence of that, people that live in the Northern hemispheres. And I can understand that because cold weather is not my friend. And I love warm weather. So I continued to move south. I went to West Virginia University for college. I graduated there with a business marketing degree. Actually, during my time there, it was my last year, I actually had my first MS symptom. So I was really young. So out of Nikki and Bobby and me, I probably have had MS the longest, almost 20 years now. And I was not diagnosed at that time, but had that first symptom and then went on to have other things. But we'll talk about that MS journey at a different date. But yeah, so I went to school in Morgantown, graduated, left there and moved to Florida, sunny Florida, and only lived there for a year. I'm not sure why I moved, but I did. I lived there for 1 year. I worked for Black & Decker and I was in sales. And I had family down there, so that brought me down there. But then I had an opportunity to move back up to DC, Washington, DC, where I worked for a startup tech company. And Nikki and Bobby both alluded to this, that stress is not our friend with MS. And it was a very high stress job. I was working a lot of hours, fresh out of college, and just excited about what I was doing. But it brought on my next MS symptom was another bout of optic neuritis, which then led to my official diagnosis of MS. And so, yeah, just again, stress. I was under very stressful conditions. And at that time, I didn't know that or realize that was my enemy in MS, but it was. And so I was blessed enough to be in DC at the time, to be going to Johns Hopkins and getting, really good sound treatment, because that is another thing that I discovered is not all voices in the MS community are the same, and they're not, I guess, what we would say, experts, what we would sometimes, I think, just my experience. But I was then at that time when I was in DC, I got out of the tech world and got into pharmaceutical sales. And interestingly enough, I ended up selling a drug for MS that I ended up being on. So my journey with that was a little different from what Bobby and what Nikki is. I have off and on, but mostly been on drug to help manage my MS. But I've also used and believed in strongly in all the alternative food, exercise, and now I've discovered a whole new world of even vitamins and essential oils. So I'll go into that a little bit more. But while I was in DC at the time, I was selling Copaxone. I became immersed in the MS community. That's how I met Nikki, actually, was through a MS patient advocate program and event. And so we've remained friends ever since. I guess now going on 15 years. But so I met my husband during that time. He lived in Detroit. I lived in DC. We stayed friends for quite a while. And then we started dating in 2006. 6 months later, we were engaged. And then we got married. I moved to Oxford, Ohio, after we got married. And he is a football coach. So that was a whole new world for me that I entered into, but I love it. It's another part of our life and a big part of our community. And just we started our family in Oxford, Ohio. I have 4 kids. So that was another thing. I've always wanted to be a mom and a wife. And I just got put that on my heart since I was little. I just loved being a mom. In fact, part of my personality, I think Bobby and Nikki had alluded to that. Like, I think you're the nurturer one of the group, but just always wanted to be a mom. And so I started that journey in Oxford with my son, Colton. I just knew that I wasn't going to give that up because someone told me I had MS, which there were people that were like, maybe you want to rethink getting, having kids, and maybe, that's not going to be a part of your story. And I just wasn't going to accept that. I just felt like I wasn't going to let MS define me and who I was. It was going to be, I had MS, but it wasn't going to be my identity. And so that started my journey of motherhood. And in Oxford, after I married my husband, so we had Colton. And then I was still working actually though at the time. And after I had Colton and working, I had another pretty significant bout with my MS, and under stressful conditions. My husband was in a transition of his job, so decided to stop working. We then moved to Ashland, Ohio, small town in Ohio, and yeah, it was good. I just decided I was going to stay home, raise my family, raise my kids, because I then was pregnant with my second child, Savannah, who's now 11. So I have 14, 11. And then, yeah, it just was a good opportunity just to say, you know what, I'm going to try to remove some of those stresses in my life and just focus on my kids. And my husband works a lot, kind of like Bobby and Nikki, where they were saying, you know, where we're single momming it. I single mom it a lot. Like my husband is gone a lot. And it just was a good fit for me to take, just to have some balance. And I feel like being at home allows me to control my environment a little bit more. And so after a time in Ashland, we moved back to Oxford for him to go back to Miami, which was kind of interesting. But when we went back to Oxford, we were there for 1 year, and my husband had quadruple bypass surgery, which was unexpected, but a miracle that God saved his life. And he was a healthy Division I athlete, and it just was, yeah, hereditary. So we are now a family of wellness and eating right. He's vegan, and just really try to implement some yeah, we just have a passion for living well, having healthy things in our lives, and exercising and vitamins. And so it's just become a part of our lifestyle with both of us having, you know, autoimmune diseases. And so after we left Oxford, we were there for 3 years. God moved us, and we moved to Laramie, Wyoming, which was a fun adventure. So just another piece of my personality. I normally would probably be a homebody, but because I married a football coach, it's like being a military wife, we move a lot. And so it's really brought out a sense of adventure in me, and just that I'm kind of up for like, all right, let's go. Let's see what's out there. And it was so much fun moving to Laramie, Wyoming for 5 years, because we got to explore as a family so much. It was a lot of fun. And we had Case. So throwing in my third child, I had Case, who's now 9. So now we have 14, 11, 9, had Case, moved to Wyoming. And during our time there, we, just got to explore Laramie and the beautiful surroundings. But we also then decided that we were going to adopt. So my husband felt called to say, you know what, I think God's like really wanting us to adopt. So that is a part of my story and our journey. Maybe you guys will get to know a little bit more if anyone out there that went through that or is thinking about doing that. It's just an awesome way to give, give life to another child, bring them into your family. And so we were really blessed to go through that process. And now we have Cannon, who is now 3 years old. He was born in Nashville, Tennessee, and he was a domestic adoption. So he is a part of our family, and that kind of that is our fourth. So we have four kids, four healthy, beautiful kids. And after a time in Laramie, we moved to now, which is Kalamazoo, Michigan. And so that's really the past couple of years has been really where my world has been open to essential oils. So Nikki and I have walked throughout our MS journey for quite some time, and she introduced me to doTERRA essential oils, and I love them so much. They impacted my wellness journey and my MS journey in such a personal, great way that I decided that I was gonna try this marketing thing out, this online marketing thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. I want to share what I love. I'm kind of like Nikki in that way, where once I encounter something I love, I just share. I guess it's why I was in sales. I just really love sharing the benefits of things with other people. So just truly excited to do that. Something I love to do is run. And so I have been blessed where I've not had to stop running. And I've been able to keep on running with my MS. So excited to be with you girls. It's a blessing and honor to, be here.
Awesome. So we will see you guys next week. We're going to actually take turns telling each other's stories. So 1.5 hour will be my story, then the next week will be Bobby, and then the next week will be Tara's story. So definitely tune in for those episodes. I feel like a lot of you will relate with many of our stories, and it'll make you feel more connected and more encouraged and, just not alone after those episodes. So
It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned.
yes.
Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.